So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my layers, and I'm going to click on my first layer that's highlighted. I'm then going to hold down the shift key, and I'm going to click on the bottom layer so that they've all become highlighted. What I can now do is I can go to my move tool over here on the left corner. You can see I've gone to the move tool, and I'm going to move everything as one unit to really make sure that I'm giving myself enough room to complete my spiral. I want to make sure that it's really lined up, so I'm going to use my micro key. So I'm using my left and right arrow, and I'm using my up and down arrow to make sure that I've made it really nice and clean. All right, so if that happens to you, no worries. You can totally select all of your layers, go to your move tool, and move it around. So I'm ready to now undo it, so I'm just going to click away. Notice that now all of my rectangles are no longer selected. So I'm ready to make my next square, and I'm now going to the rectangle tool. Remember, you have to actually go back to it. We are now going to 13, so I've got 13 this way. I'm going to go up 13 this way, and boom, I've got 13 right there. Very, very exciting. I'm now going to go back to my fill color, and I want to move it to, I think I'm like around here. It's getting pretty dark. I might even want to go a little bit darker than that. So I think I'm ready to go a little bit darker than that. I'm like right there. Yeah, that's looking good to me. So I'm now in there, and we're ready to do our last one. We're going to be doing 21 by 21. And you know what? No, I'm not there yet. So same problem as last time. I'm going to click on my top layer, hold down the shift key, and I'm going to hit on the move tool on this top left right here. I'm going to move it all the way over. And I'm using my micro keys to place in my up and down arrow to make it really clean. And I'm going back to my rectangle tool, and I'm going to go ahead and make my last rectangle. I really hope I made it large enough. Yep, I just barely did, because I want it to be 21 by 21. Now, of course, it's going to fill in that same color. Last time I'm going to my fill tool, and I'm going to make it totally black this time. Awesome. So as you can see, we now have this really lovely gradation right here, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 now have your own spiral in a monochromatic color scheme. So our next step is that we're now ready to go and do the part with the pen tool. And the pen tool is a new tool for us today. So I want you to take a look at your tools on the left-hand side here. The pen tool actually looks like an old-timey pen, like a quill pen, and the quick key for it is the letter P. But I want you to go ahead and click on your tool. And notice it makes your pen makes your mouse look like a little pen. And we're going to be creating our own spiral based off of it. And so we're going to be going in, we're going out. So we're working from our first point in, going diagonally down. The first thing you want to do when you're working with the pen tool is to make sure that you're on the path tool and not on the shape tool. So make sure that you're up here and that you have clicked on path. Once you have done that, you can now click here. So I'm going to click on my first point right here. I'm going to click, I'm not holding it down, I just clicked once, I let go, and I'm now going to click on my diagonal. I let go. I'm going to now click on my other diagonal, right? I let go. And notice you're creating your own spiral, however, it's with straight lines, right? So you're going through and through the 2. I'm going to the 3s now, through and through. I'm going down to this corner. I'm now going down to this corner. I'm now going up to this corner. So I'm doing a diagonal through and through for each. And once you get here, I just want you to wait and stop. You have now created this really geometric, beautiful Fibonacci spiral. So what this does is that this creates this really lovely path for us to apply something. And in our case, we're going to be applying the text tool to it. You're going to be writing using the spiral as a pathway. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is where I want you to really listen up. So what's going to happen now is that you're still on your pen tool over here on the left-hand side. Again, you can hit the letter P to make sure that you're there. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold down the Option key. And when you hold down the Option key, you're going to see that your pen went from the pen looking tool to a little V, especially when it hovers over those points, your points where you have your diagonals meeting. And so I'm going to hold down the Option key. I'm holding the Option key down. And what you can do is you can pull. You're just pulling gently out, and this allows you to create a curve. So we're now going from diagonal to curve. And notice you can make it look really wonky, which we don't want, right? We just want to pull it gently so that it makes a nice smooth curve. You can now let go. I'm going to hold down the Option key again. See how it gets to that little V? I'm going to make a nice smooth curve. I let go. I'm holding down the Option key and I'm just dragging it. I just want to make it a nice smooth curve, just like the spiral. Notice I'm going in one direction. Sometimes I have to correct myself, right? I'm going back. Okay, I missed that. I got that one wrong. So then I'm going over here. I want to go ahead and adjust this one like that, right? So we're just doing that. I'm now going over here, holding down that Option key and clicking and dragging to get it in the way that I want it, right? Just straight up the line. Looks great to me. I'm going to then let go of my mouse, let go of the Option key. Again, hold down the Option key, and we're clicking and dragging to really create the smoothest spiral possible. And I now have a spiral instead of a strong angular spiral, right? A spiral needs to have curves and not sharp angles. So now that I've created this beautiful spiral, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on my text tool. And when I have my text tool, you're going to see that this little icon pops up for writing. Now, right now, it just looks like a little box with a little text icon. But what I want to do is I want to hover just like this. And I want you to notice how that icon now has a squiggly line to it. What that means is that your text is now going to follow that pathway. So what I want you to do now is I want you to pick a color for your text tool. And remember, I want you to pick a complementary color. And remember, complementary colors are opposites on the color wheel because they really pop when they're put together. Remember, they're like frenemies. You think that they're going to complement each other, going to make each other look good, and they totally do, except they're as far apart as they can possibly be. So mine is turquoise. Mine's right around here, so I'm going to go across the color wheel, and I'm in the oranges. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my text an orangey color. I think I want a nice, I like this light orange. I think I want it to be something, yeah, I think I like maybe an orange like this, something like that. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and I'm ready to start typing. What I want you to type is I want you to write me a little message about what you've learned about the Fibonacci spiral, or what you liked about the Fibonacci spiral, or didn't like. So I want you to write me a short message. So you get the point. You're leaving me a little message using the complementary color of the colors that you used, and I cannot wait to see what you have all done. Now, when you're ready to turn this in, you're going to go to File, Save As, and remember, you always have to do this 2 times. You're going to save it both as a JPEG and turning that into me because I don't want to see all these layers. That's going to make it really big for me to open. And I want you to save it as a PSD, because if I tell you that your spiral's not quite right, or you didn't use monochromatic colors, or you didn't use complementary colors, that it's going to be a really, really quick and really, really easy fix for you to go ahead and adjust, even if you've already turned it in. Okay? So remember, we always go to File, Save As, and in this case, we are calling the assignment, again, have this ready, have the website handy for you. We're turning it in as, so the period we are underscore the letter M underscore your last name and your first name, and you're turning it into me as a JPEG. So I'm going to save it as a PSD first. I'm going to go ahead and call it, let's say this is 0 period. I'm going to call it 0 underscore M underscore my last name and your first name. And I'm going to save it as a PSD, hit save, and then I'm going to go ahead and follow those steps again, only this time I'm changing the format from PSD for Photoshop to JPEG. All right? So fantastic job. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see what you have made.